From this tutorial, we will start new series specifically for interior designers. In this set of tutorials, we will create drawing for empty space as per site measurements, then furniture layout, elevations and sections. In this tutorial, at first we will create drawing for this empty space as per site survey. We will be creating this drawing in millimeter. And if you want to learn AutoCAD from very basic level, then link to that playlist is given in the description. To start new drawing, click here. If you want to create drawing in feet and inches, then you will have to use this AutoCAD.dwt template. But as we have to create drawing in millimeter, therefore we will use AutoCAD ISO.dwt template. Click on it. Type UN to check the units, press enter. Here I will be using length type as decimal, precision as 4 digits, then angle type is decimal degrees and precision is 0. Then insertion scale is millimeter. Click on OK. Then my other settings are I am keeping this object snap tracking on. By clicking on it, you can turn it off and on. So right now it is on. Then my object snap is also on. By clicking on it, you can turn it off and on. So right now my object snap is on. Then click on this arrow. Here I have selected endpoint, midpoint, center, quadrant, intersection and extension object snap. To select any object snap, you just have to click on it. So it will select it, and if you again click on it, it will deselect it. So I want to use this extension, so I will click on it. So it has selected that object snap. So I have selected all these object snaps. Click outside. In this drawing, at first we will create this line. Now width of living room is 4500 and kitchen is also 4500 and the wall thickness is 300. That means this total length will be 300 plus 4500 plus 300 plus 4500 plus 300. That is total length will be 9900. So at first we will create this line of 9900. Click on line, then specify first point. I will click here. Now this line is created inclined. I want straight line. For straight line, you will have to click on this ortho mode. When ortho mode is on, your line will come straight. And if I again click it, it will be off. Then my line will be inclined. So now I want straight line. So click on ortho mode. Once the switch is selected, the color of that switch is shown in blue color. That means that particular option is on. Then give the direction. I want this line in this direction. So take your cursor there and specify length of 9900. Press enter, enter. Then to make this line completely visible, type Z for zoom, enter and select all option. For all option, type A, enter. So your complete line will be visible. Then to zoom this line, you can rotate your middle mouse button towards you. Then it will make it zoom minus, and if you rotate it towards monitor, then it will be zoom plus. Then to pan this object, you will have to press your middle mouse button and drag the mouse. Then to remove this XY from here, type UCS icon, press enter and select this no origin. Then we want to create this parallel line at the gap of 300. To create parallel lines, you will have to use offset command. Here is the offset command. You can also use O enter for offset. Select offset. Then for offset, at first you will have to specify offset distance. I want distance of 300. Type there 300 and press enter. Then select object to offset. I want to offset this object. Click on it. Then specify point on side to offset. I want to offset on this side. Click there. So here this parallel line is created at the gap of 300. Then I want to create this line. Now this gap is 4000. Again select on this line, take your cursor on this side and specify 4000, enter. Then again select this line, take your cursor on this side and click. Then select this line, take your cursor on this side and again specify 4000, enter. Again select this line, take your cursor on this side and click. So all the vertical lines has been created. Press enter to stop the offset command. Then we will create these horizontal lines. For that again click on line, specify first point, click on this end point and this end point. Press enter. Again click on offset, specify distance of 300, enter, select this line, take your cursor below and click. Then again click on this line, take your cursor below. Now this gap is 4500 and specify 4500, enter. Again select this line, take your cursor below and click. Again select this line, take your cursor below and specify gap of 4500, enter. Then select and click below, then enter. Then at first we will develop this area. Now I don't want these corner lines. To remove the unwanted lines, you will have to use trim command. Here is the trim command. Keyboard shortcut for trim is TR, enter. Click on it. Then you will have to define cutting edges. So we want to define all the object as a cutting edges. For that you will have to press enter. So all object will be selected as a cutting edges. Then click on the objects you want to remove. Or you can also click in empty space. You have to click on the right side and take your cursor on the left side. So it will create this green crossing window. So it selects all the objects crossed by this window. So click. So in this way also you can remove objects quickly. Press enter. Then we will develop this area. Now in this area, at first we will create this line at the gap of 1200. Then here wall thickness is 150. Click on offset. Specify offset distance of 1200. Enter. Then select this line. Take your cursor below and click. Again click on this line. Take your cursor below. Specify gap of 150. Enter. Then this gap is 1000. Click. Take your cursor below, specify gap of 1000, enter. Then select this line, take it below, specify gap of 300, enter. Then this width is 4000. Click, take it below, specify gap of 4000, enter. Okay, I specified 400. If you make any mistake from here, you can undo it. Then again click on this line, take it below and specify 4000, enter. Again select it, take it below 300, enter, and to stop the command press enter. Then to develop this corner you can use fillet command. Click on fillet, select this line and this line, press enter, select this line and this line. By pressing enter you can repeat last command. Then to remove this you will have to use erase. Click on erase, select these objects, press enter. Then here this width is 2200 and this door width is 700. Click on offset, specify gap of 2200, enter, select this line, take your cursor on this side and click. Again select this line, take your cursor on this side, specify gap of 150, enter. Then here we want opening of 700. So select this line, take your cursor on this side, specify gap of 700. Enter. Then to remove unwanted portion, type TR for trim. Enter. And remove this portion. Enter. Then here, now this line is in line with this line. So again we will give thickness of 150 here. Keyboard shortcut for offset is O. Type O, enter, specify gap of 150, enter, click, take your cursor on this side and click. Then we want gap of 700, select this line, take it below, specify 700, enter and enter. Then trim unwanted portion, type TR, enter and remove unwanted portion. Then erase these objects. Keyboard shortcut for erase is E, enter. Then click in empty space on the right side, take your cursor on the left side and click and enter. Then here we want gap of 1000 and here also we want gap of 1000. So again offset O, enter, specify gap of 1000, enter, then select this line, take your cursor on this side and click. Select this line, take your cursor above and click. Press enter, then again trim, TR, enter, then select objects to be removed. Actually we need to extend these lines up to these lines. If you want to use trim as a extend, then you have to press shift and click on these lines. So it will work as a extend. Then remove unwanted objects. Press enter. Then type E for erase, enter and select these objects. Enter. Then trim, enter and remove this line. Enter. So this corner is ready. This entry is ready. Then here also we have opening of 1000. Type O, enter, specify gap of 1000. 1000 is already there. So if value is already there, you just have to press enter. So it will accept that value. Then click on this line, click on this side. Same way I want entry also of 1000. Select this line, take it above and click. Press enter. Then trim, TR, enter and remove unwanted objects. Wall layout is completed. Then next is to create windows. Now here window size is 1500 and windows are located at the center of the wall. Zoom here, then click on line, then specify first point. First point will be this midpoint. Click there, take your cursor on this side, then take your cursor to this midpoint and drag that midpoint and click and press enter. Zoom there, then offset, specify offset distance of 750, enter, then select this line, take your cursor above and click. Again select this line, take your cursor below and click. Press enter. Then remove this line, type E, enter, select this line, enter. Then again line, then click on this midpoint and this midpoint, enter. Then again offset, specify offset distance of 50, enter, select this line, take your cursor on this side and click. Select this line, take your cursor on this side and click and press enter. So here this window is ready. Then to convert this object into single object, select this object using window selection, click on the left side and take your cursor on the right side. In window selection, all the complete objects within your window are selected. Click. Then take your cursor to group and click on group. So here this object is converted into single object. Press escape. Then I want this window here and here. We will copy this window. Click on copy. select this object, enter. We will specify this midpoint as a base point. Click there. And second point will be midpoint of this vertical line. Make ortho off. Take your cursor to this midpoint, drag it and click on this intersection and enter. Then I want same window here, here and here. We will create one more copy. Click on copy, select this object, enter, specify base point and specify second point, enter. Then we will rotate this window. Click on rotate, select this object, enter, specify base point, take your cursor above, ensure that your line is straight, or to force this line to be straight, click on ortho mode so that it will come straight. Then click, then again click on copy, select this object, enter. Then for base point, take your cursor to this midpoint, don't click there, take it away so it will mark it for tracking. Then take your cursor to this endpoint, then take your cursor here and click. Then click on this midpoint. Make ortho off, then click on this midpoint. Then here take your cursor to this midpoint, drag that point above and click and enter. So all the windows has been placed. Then this ventilators, for that again we will copy this window. Click on copy, select this window, enter, specify base point, take your cursor here and click and enter. Ventilators are smaller, so we will stretch it and reduce its size. Now these are the windows of 1500 length. We want ventilator of 600. That means we will have to reduce the size of this window by 900. So click on stretch. For stretch, you will always have to use crossing window. So click in the empty space on the right side, take your cursor on the left side and ensure that this horizontal line is completely inside your window. And the lines for which you want to change the length should be partially selected. Click, enter, then specify base point. I will specify base point here. Then make ortho on, take your cursor below and specify distance of 900. Enter. Then click on copy, select this object, enter, then take your cursor to this endpoint and take your cursor to this midpoint, take your cursor here and click. Then click on this midpoint and this midpoint. Press enter. So ventilators are also ready. Then remove these objects, type E, enter, then select these objects and press enter. So windows and ventilators are ready. Then next is to create these doors. For that, zoom here, then click on rectangle, then take your cursor to this endpoint and take it below. Locate this intersection point, then click there, then take your cursor on the left side, then specify door size. So here you can see that first dimension is negative, so you will have to specify that dimension with negative sign. So our door size is 1000 in x direction, so specify there minus 1000 comma 25, enter. Then we will show here door swing. For that, click on this arrow below arc, then click on this start center end. By default, arc is created in anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, we will give start point at this location. Click on this end point, then center point will be this end point and end point will be this end point. So here this door is ready. Then again we will create group to combine them. Select this rectangle and this arc. Take your cursor to group and click on group. So here this object is converted into single object. Then we want same door here. So we will copy it. You can also type CO For copy, enter, select this object, enter, specify base point, make ortho off, take your cursor here and click and enter. Then we will align this door here. For that, click on modify, click on align, select this object, enter, then specify first source point. I will take this point as a first source point. Specify first destination point. Now this point will match with this point. For that, take your cursor here and drag that point and click. Then this point will match with this line. So click on this midpoint and this point will match with this end point. Click. So here the door has been aligned perfectly. Then I want doors here. For that, I will copy this door. Type CO, enter, select this object, enter, specify base point and click here. And we will create one more copy for this door also. Click, enter. And again we will align this door here. Click on modify, click on align, select this object, enter, then specify first source point, click on this endpoint, then take your cursor to this endpoint, drag it and click. Then second source point will be this one and this will match with this line. So I will click on this endpoint, then click on this third source point and it will match with this endpoint. So it has been placed properly, but we will have to scale this door. For that, click on scale, select this object, enter, then specify base point, click here on this intersection point. Then to scale the object as per this distance, click on reference, then specify reference length. So reference length will be this complete length of the door. So click on this endpoint or intersection point and click on this endpoint. Then specify new length. You can click on this endpoint. So here this door is scaled properly. Then we will copy this door here. Click on copy, select this object, enter, then base point will be this endpoint. Then drag this endpoint and click, press enter. Then we will rotate this door. For that, click on rotate, then select this object, enter, base point will be this endpoint. Take your cursor above. Before that, make ortho mode on. Take your cursor above and click. And here this door is also ready. Then remove this door, E, enter, select it, enter. So here all the empty rooms are ready. Now in the next tutorial we will start creating furniture, and after that we will also create elevation and section. So thanks for watching. We will stop here.